Now, one person I did speak to about Kamala, in her own words, is my old friend James Carville about the state of the Democratic Party. Here's what he had to say. James Carville, sir. You know what it's like? You know, when I tell people on my radio show, I'm friends with James Carville. How many debates have we done around the country together? We did a debate. Tim Russert once moderated. Was that not a great day? We had a great time. Sure. All right.
You know, before we get started and get down to the nitty-gritty, I just want to say something. I respect your longevity and your relevance. I may not agree with you, but I've seen a lot of pretenders and a lot of contenders come through Fox News over this century, and no one has been more relevant and survived longer than you have. So
I don't know what that means.
Hats off to you.
No, look, I
proceed with the questions.
But we've also had fun, but we don't agree. We just don't. But I will say this. You know, for example, I'm going to play a clip. Bill and Hillary Clinton. Okay, and this is them talking about abortion. And I won't play it, but they also, you know, Bill Clinton famously said the era of big government is over, the end of welfare as we know it. But here's Bill and Hillary on abortion. And as I ask it, keep in mind that neither Tim Walz or Kamala Harris want any restrictions on abortion at all, none whatsoever. That in the case of Walz, I mean, he wants gender-affirming care provided to children without parental consent, and he wanted to put feminine hygiene products in boys' bathrooms in schools. Listen, but here's Bill and Hillary.
Our vision should be of an America where abortion is safe and legal, but rare.
I have worked for many years is to make abortion safe, legal, and rare.
Our people have genuine and deeply felt differences on the subject of abortion, even if abortion is safe, legal, and rare.
Well, I believe abortion should be safe, legal, and rare.
So we've known each other all this time. I don't see James Carville as a radical Kamala Harris, Tim Walz, Bernie Sanders, left-wing, you know, lunatic. And you kind of said as much yourself. I mean, if the country knows who they really are, can they win?
Well, certainly they can win, and I agree with everything that President and Mrs. Clinton said. I think abortion should be safe, legal, and hopefully it'll be rare. And if we have aggressive contraception and aggressive availability, we can do that. You know, actually abortion rate, the number of abortions gone up since this idiotic Dobbs decision. And I think that Roe v. Wade is right. It takes into account certain rights in the first trimester, certain rights in the second, certain rights in the third trimester. And I will disagree with you vehemently and friendly on one thing. I think offering tampons to students is one of the best ideas I've ever heard. You know, Utah.
To boys in the bathrooms?
Tampons. It had nothing to do with the boys in the bathroom.
James, they changed the language. They changed the language.
You know what? It doesn't matter. There should be young people who are going through embarrassing enough to be a young girl to have to go through this. I am wholeheartedly for that. I don't care if they put it in the library, wherever they put it.
You want it now in the library?
That argument. I'm really for it. Yes, I don't care where it is.
But wait a minute. But you're married to good parents. You love your kids. Would you want gender-affirming care without you being consulted?
We'll make those decisions. I don't really think about that very often. I think that Governor Rhodes is a patriot. I think he's a soldier. I think he's a football coach. He's a hunter. He's done some tremendous things. And if we're going to sit here and nitpick every little thing he did, and this and that, and I'm very comfortable with tampons being offered free to students in school. I'm totally 100%
All right, so let's not belabor the point. You're okay with it in boys' bathrooms. You have no problem with it. Gender-affirming care, forget what the parents want.
You can put it in the cafeteria for all I care.
Okay, let me ask you this. We've got to have the courage to stop using the term radical Islamic terrorism and illegal alien. Let me play it for you.
We must have the courage to object when they use that term, radical Islamic terrorism, which ignores how Muslims have overwhelmingly been the greatest victims of terror. worst of crime. An undocumented immigrant is not a criminal.
Do you think that's a little out of the mainstream to not say radical Islamic terrorism or illegal aliens? Who attacked us on 9/11? Well, who's entering our country illegally?
Well, okay, let's back up. In the last shootings in Buffalo, in Marjorie Stoneman Douglas, the guy that shot at President Donald Trump, all of these shootings have something in common. They're all by white males who could get an assault weapon. I'd rather use the term radical terrorist. I would prefer to leave the term Islamic out of it because there's so many good people who follow the religion of Islam, and I wouldn't want to do anything that would bring any
But the word radical delineates.
As opposed to the term.
The word radical delineates between Muslims and radical Islamists. That's very clear.
I would just say radical terrorist, but that's something I prefer. Whether I would call someone, I don't think any human being is an illegal. But I do think you should have border laws. I wouldn't mind saying that they're undocumented, but I just wouldn't call another human being an alien. That's just, maybe that's the Catholic in me. I don't know, but I don't like the term alien applied to another human being.
By the way, the term illegal alien happens to be a government term, the one that they put in all their government documents. Anyway, James is a character. More of my interview with James Carville tomorrow night. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.